Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video. Now today we are doing a bit of a catch-up of the latest Championship transfer activity. We're into June now. I can't believe how fast this year is rolling by, and there's already been some transfers as the season finished last month, and let's talk about them. So then, straight off the bat, we're going to go to Loftus Road, where Queen's Park Rangers have been quite a busy club already. We're only into the first couple of days of June, and they've now complete a permanent signing of Charlie Austin. Now, he was obviously on loan there last season. He actually did all right. These are his figures. He got 8 goals in 21 games, so roughly a goal every 2 or 3 games, and I think he got a couple of assists as well. I think this is a really good signing. He's 31. We know what Charlie Austin's all about. He obviously played for Queen's Park Rangers before, when he scored 45 goals in 82 appearances between 2013 and 16, and I think this is a really good move for Queen's Park Rangers. They had a pretty good end to the season, didn't they? And I think we know the talent that they've got. I really like Lyndon Dykes, but Charlie Austin, for me, if you've got him in your team, you know you're guaranteed some goals. And yeah, it's a good signing for me. I think West Bromwich Albion, I'm not sure why they haven't kept him, because they're going down to the Championship. They could have utilised him, because the Championship is really where Charlie Austin can excel. But Queen's Park Rangers, they've made a good signing there, and they've also made a few more. QPR have also brought in Sam Field from West Bromwich Albion for an undisclosed fee. So obviously 2 players there from West Bromwich Albion, and they've also brought in Jordi DeWish on a 3-year undisclosed fee deal. I think that's good activity already from Queen's Park Rangers. They've obviously got a few more months to play with, but to get your signings in early, I always think that's the smartest move, because then you have the majority of the summer to play with them, to build them, to get to know your starting 11 going into the start of the season. So if I was a QPR fan, I think things are quite exciting at the moment and looking up. Now, before we get on to the next club we're going to talk about, it is also worth mentioning that most of the clubs have put out their retained lists now. So obviously there's a lot of free agents at the moment. So I think we'll be doing more videos on this through June and July. There's going to be plenty more transfers going on. It's still early days. But the next team we'll come to is Huddersfield Town. We've already made a couple of signings. They've brought in Luton's Matty Pearson, who I think will be an interesting addition to their team. Obviously, Luton had a good season. Matty Pearson is a decent player. They've also brought in Jordan Rhodes from relegated Sheffield Wednesday. We know what Jordan Rhodes can do in the Championship. I believe he's re-signed because obviously he played at Huddersfield before. Jordan Rhodes is a good player. I think although he's getting on a little bit, he can get you goals. And Huddersfield Town, I think they needed a big summer. I think they need to keep recruiting, because the way they ended this season, they were kind of teetering over the edge, and in the end they stayed up just because the 4 teams below them were even worse. So Huddersfield have been busy, and it's what they need to do. They've also brought in MK Dons goalkeeper Lee Nichols, who I think will be an interesting addition. Obviously Schofield is their number 1, but a few signings already for Huddersfield Town. Like I say, if they can keep bringing in a few players, if they can do it early, then we could have a good summer for Huddersfield Town. Next up then, we'll go to Millwall Football Club, who have brought in 2 players. They've brought in goalkeeper George Long from Hull City, and they've also re-signed Scott Malone from Derby County. He was there last season, scoring 6 goals in 43 appearances. So a couple of signings there for Millwall Football Club to get excited about. Obviously, still early days, but to make 2 signings nice and early, it's good stuff from Millwall. Next up then to Kenilworth Road, where we go to Luton Town, who have signed Fred Onyedinma from relegated Wycombe Wanderers. Now, the midfielder was quite impressive last season. I always think it's a good decision to look at the 3 teams that have gone down and try and pick off their best players, because Wycombe, Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday, although they didn't stay up, they did have a few decent players, and we've seen Jordan Rhodes has obviously gone. Fred Onyedinma, for me, is a good player. And I think Wycombe also have a couple of other good players that my team, Coventry, could also be looking at. There's a couple of players you can pinch off, but for me, Fred Onyedinma, for an undisclosed fee for Luton Town, this is a good signing. I think he can cut it in the Championship. Based on this year, I think he was pretty good, and a good addition to Luton Town. So then guys, that roughly completes the latest week of Championship transfer activity. We have had quite a few other players being released. We'll run through those. Luton Town have also released Kasenga Luar and Mon Kerr. Meanwhile, at Nottingham Forest, they've released Amiobi and Michael Dawson. So players to keep your eyes peeled for. They could be moving to other clubs. Stoke City have released Jordan Cousins. Coventry City have released Maxime Biamou and Amadou Bakayoko. So there's plenty of activity. So be sure to look out for some more transfer news coming soon, and some more breaking news in the Championship, not transfer related, but Bournemouth's Jefferson Lerma has been given a 6-match ban for biting Sheffield Wednesday's Windass. Yeah, that's quite bizarre Championship news, and we won't be seeing Jefferson Lerma at the start of next season. But there you go, guys. That is the latest transfer activity in in the Championship. Like I say, it's early doors. We're in early June, so things might still change. If you've heard any rumours or think I've missed any news, then get it down in the comments. It's good to talk about it. I'm excited to see what activity goes on over the summer. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.